Well, good Friday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live from the First Alert Digital Desk, where we're always live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m., keeping you up to date with our weather that's going around across the region. And well, we have a First Alert weather day, or more like a First Alert weather weekend ahead for us, with high temperatures possible for really Saturday, Sunday into our Monday, and even possibly longer than that. We also have some stronger thunderstorms could be possible early on our Saturday. It could wake you up across the sort of northern portions of the state, but even down to the south still have that chance as well. But thank you for everyone for joining me here on this Friday. Hope everyone's had a pretty nice day. Did have some light rain rolled through areas like Saginaw, Flint, just a little bit earlier this morning. That has moved out. We should be relatively dry the rest of the day, but still have some isolated showers that could develop on and off through the afternoon. Very light, or very quick, I should say, should be out of your region in no time. So taking a look again at what we have for this weekend. It is a First Alert weather day starting on Saturday all the way through Monday for temperatures at 90 degrees or above. We'll have heat indexes at 95 to 100 plus possible. A few areas getting up to 102 and 103. So definitely a warm weekend. Not everyone's going to be upset by that, but it's always take those precautions because you don't want to have those heat illnesses that you can get on warm days like we have for this weekend. And not everyone has air conditioning. I know that's a lot of what people say is, well, I have air conditioning. Well, not everyone has that for their home. So these are the type of weekends they have to keep an eye on. Obviously, people who are sensitive to higher temperatures as well. Make sure you're checking up on your neighbors, obviously your animals. If you have any of those, check up on them. Make sure they have fresh water when you can get that to them on a weekend like this weekend. And we've already started with those alerts. We have a heat advisory in place for our northern counties, starting really this afternoon all the way through about Monday or Tuesday. We have an extreme heat watch for pretty much the remainder of our counties outside of that 127 corridor, where those counties actually are still avoiding any of our heat advisories or watches. Most likely those get issued maybe as we head into the weekend, because it's not going to be any cooler there than those areas like we have around the bay and then north of the bay, where you had that heat advisory already put into place here on this Friday. But when we take a look at our temperatures, again, it is a warmer one. Temperatures in the 90s for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Does look like we should drop out of that 90 range for Tuesday, but I wouldn't count out some areas being in the 90s on Tuesday, and then by Wednesday we actually do see that drop back into the mid to lower 80s. So if you're someone, again, that enjoys those warmer days, these are the days to enjoy. But again, take those precautions. Don't get any of those heat illnesses that you can get when we start seeing those heat indexes get to those triple digits like we will have this weekend. But take a look outside right now. This is a live look outside at Birch Run, where you do see some light cloud cover. Clouds will be in and out throughout much of our Friday. Then be really the same thing for Saturday. Now, some more sun could be a possibility, especially by midday on Saturday. We'll take a look up to the north at Mackinac Bridge. I know a lot of people wanting to travel north, especially on our weekends. Obviously, seeing maybe some sunshine to the far north. This will be an area, though, if you're going up there tonight, be prepared. You actually could have an active night into tomorrow morning for some thunderstorms. That's an area we've just been seeing some development of stronger storms possible. So if you have plans to go up there tonight, make sure you have ways to get weather alerts, especially in the morning, just because you could have some active weather. I know that's an area that some people like to camp. You have Mackinac Island, just obviously everything around the Mackinac Bridge, a lot of things to do. So make sure you're staying weather aware if you're heading up to the north, and even for our area could have that possibility. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And take a quick look at downtown Flint right now. Pretty quiet streets. We have just some light cloud cover, you can tell in the distance, but the sun is shining through any of that light clouds that we do have here for this afternoon. Now, once again, traffic doesn't look bad. We're looking at green all across the board. Yesterday, obviously, had some flooded roads, especially on 127. Those have been cleared. Got cleared pretty quickly in the afternoon yesterday. But as we get into the afternoon, do expect, obviously, people are traveling, could have some slowdowns in some areas. So just be prepared for that. But right now, nothing widespread in terms of travel slowdowns when we look at that traffic, First Alert traffic map. Now, Today is the first day of summer. Summer begins tonight at right around 10:42 p.m. And again, today for that sort of first day of summer will count it as. You're looking at, again, lower 80s for our highs. A chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, still a possibility through this afternoon. I think it's going to be a quick pop-up if you do see anything. Similar to what we had yesterday afternoon, similar to what we had this morning, where it's just sort of a quick pop-up and then it's out in no time. But it brings heavy rainfall, a few rumbles of thunder into your area as it tries to develop. We just have a lot of moisture, which really gives us a lot of energy in the atmosphere. So anything that can develop does have that potential of seeing heavy downpours and then obviously even some strong winds, some lightning. Now, take a look at our sky tracker. It does show we do have pretty heavy cloud cover in some areas, especially as we get to the Bay Area. And just those, again, scattered showers trying to move in was a little more consistent this morning. We had those scattered showers, but at this point, it's something we could see over the next few hours into our afternoon. We'll dry off a little bit tonight before that next round of showers and thunderstorms will move in into tomorrow morning. We'll have details on that in here in just a little bit. As we zoom out, I did want to zoom out to the west towards states like North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Those will be states that we just have to keep an eye on through the night. That will sort of tell the story for us into tomorrow morning, because they have a very active day into states like North Dakota and Minnesota. Tornado chances pretty high. Don't think our chances will be that high into tomorrow, but obviously severe weather could be a possibility. So areas, again, out to the west, especially towards Minnesota into Wisconsin, will be that area that we have to just keep an eye on, because that's where our storms will try to develop or really move in and then move across the UP into the lower peninsula into our Saturday morning, waking up some people as you're trying to get that sort of beauty sleep Saturday morning. Temperatures right now, though, across the board with that cloud cover with some rain, is keeping us just a little bit cooler. You're looking at temperatures in the mid to lower 70s, a little warmer down towards Owasso and Flint right now at 75 and 74, seeing some 60s into the Thumb, and then north of the Bay, even some lower 60s, upper 50s right now. So still a little bit cooler there. You do have some recovery today, though. Should be looking at lower 80s in areas down to the south, and then along those shorelines, you actually should see mid 70s for your highs today. So some sunshine in the afternoon does help get us just a little bit warmer into our afternoon. Just the earlier that sun does get out this afternoon, and actually winds pick up just a little bit, helping push in some warmer air from the south. That could help us get just a little bit warmer through this afternoon, then eventually will help us warm up pretty quickly as we get over the next couple of days. And speaking of winds, they are on the calmer side for today, for this Friday. Right now, 5 to 15 miles per hour, mostly from the west or the southwest, but we are still seeing a few areas trying to create winds out of the north. That's just because we may have some systems that are trying to develop with that rain, so always a possibility of seeing winds from different directions. We do have some rain moving in, so that'll be something that obviously is going to change by this afternoon into the weekend. We'll see more of a southwest wind, maybe picking up quite a bit for our Saturday. I have more details on that in just a second, but going to take a quick break right now. After the break, I'll take a look at our temperatures as we head through our weekend into the new work week. Again, maybe what our winds could play like on Saturday, because it could be a breezy day, and then more on those storm chances as we get through Saturday morning. So just stick around. And again, as always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page, where I'll try to answer those questions to the best of my ability. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here once again live at the First Alert Digital Desk, where again, if you miss out on today's stream, we always have streams Monday through Friday at this desk from the TV5 First Alert Weather Team. You can catch those streams on our Facebook page, on our YouTube, and on our website at wnem.com/livestream. Just a bunch of locations you can catch us. There's even more than that that I could list off for you. Roku TV, Apple TV, you can catch our streams there as well. But again, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining me here on the First Alert Digital Desk. We do have First Alert weather days issued for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and that's because of temperatures being near and above 90 degrees with heat indexes at 95 to 100 plus. So it's definitely going to be a warm one this weekend. I know not everyone's going to have that impact or the same impact just because some people have air conditioning, some people will live in areas maybe just a little bit cooler. It's not really much relief across the state. But not everyone has that ability to have air conditioning or be able to be indoors during the day on the weekend. So if you are one of those people, make sure you're taking just a little bit of precautions. We don't want you to have any of your heat illnesses that you can avoid pretty easily. And obviously check on your neighbors on a weekend like this weekend, because heat can impact everyone a little bit differently. Everyone's a little bit more sensitive. Some people aren't as sensitive. So just make sure you're checking on your neighbors and on any of your animals that you have. Make sure you're getting them fresh water and just trying to keep them cool if you can do that. Obviously, not every animal can be brought indoors, so just be checking up on those animals that maybe have to be outdoors just a little bit. But taking a look again at our heat alerts, we do have that heat advisory in counties north of the Bay. As you get into the Tri-Cities and south into the Thumb, those are those areas in that extreme heat watch. So a little bit of a difference there, but they are in place starting today all the way through maybe Monday, and some of these watches are until Tuesday. So even though our temperatures are dropping Tuesday, we actually do see dew points still sitting in the mid-70s. So that's why we may keep our heat indexes still on the higher range for those extreme heat watches. But it starts off with our lows, and I think that's going to be where we really see the impact first with our lows tonight. It doesn't actually look that bad. Some areas, though, lower 70s, mid to upper 60s, a few lower 60s thrown in there to the far north. So definitely a warmer night. And again, this is because we have a high pressure building in, and that high pressure sort of helps push in some of that warmer air from the far south, starts to bring in some more moisture as well. So that's why we're going to get a little bit more sticky as we get into our weekend, and obviously just a little bit warmer. We'll look at our lows for 2 nights out. So this is Saturday night. We can see there isn't much relief from the day. Yes, it's a drop from the 90s, but we're still going to be seeing lows in the upper 70s. I'm not counting out some lower 80s for a majority of the night, Saturday night into Sunday morning. So definitely a warm night for Saturday, and it looks to be more of the same for Sunday. Again, we showed this yesterday, a little bit of change, just maybe a little bit cooler Sunday night, but still looking at mid-70s. So just not much relief from the day into the night, and that carries over into Monday night and Tuesday. But by mid next week, it does look like we should recover and see some of those cooler, at least cooler temperatures compared to what we have this weekend, with those mid to lower 60s starting Tuesday night all the way through Thursday night. But taking a look at our temperature hour by hour, this is Friday at 6 p.m. So here in a few hours, what you do have is temperatures continuing to warm up. Again, we'll see highs down towards Shiawassee County, at the upper 70s, lower 80s, Alma 82. So it's still going to be a warm one today, but not as warm as what we get into the weekend. This is midday for our Saturday. This is 12 p.m. This is after that rain in the morning, and we'll be looking at highs into the lower 80s, upper 70s. So definitely a warm day, and it's only going to continue to warm up through Saturday afternoon. This is 4 p.m. looking at highs in the mid to upper 80s. I'm not going to count out some lower 90s. This model maybe just lacking a little bit later in the afternoon, which can happen. But you get that sun, we get that southwest wind, and it starts to increase. We definitely could see temperatures getting into those lower 90s. By Sunday morning, this is 8 a.m. Again, not much recovery time with our temperatures. We're looking at lower 80s by 8 a.m. on Sunday, and then into the afternoon Sunday, those mid to lower 90s, some mid to upper 80s. So again, I know not everyone is going to have the same impact with this weekend. Some of us have AC, some of us will be able to keep out of that warmer temperatures, but not everyone's going to have that ability. So obviously, if you don't have that ability, make sure you're just taking those precautions through this weekend. You don't want to have any of those heat illnesses through the weekend and ruin your weekend, because I know a lot of people want to enjoy days like Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, it's not much different. This is 5 p.m. on Monday. We're still looking to hold on to those mid to lower 90s, a few upper 80s, especially as you head off to the north. So we're not really getting rid of that heat for Monday. And then Tuesday, still looks to be more of the same. Maybe a little bit cooler in areas to the north. We can see West Branch in the 70s, Holton Lake also at 74, and then really quickly warms up as you move south. So that obviously is going to be a pretty big temperature range into our Tuesday afternoon. Now, dew points, they are also a factor, even through this afternoon, mid to upper 60s. So definitely going to be feeling it through the day. And again, that's just because moisture is being pulled in from the far south, and that's sort of rising or raising our dew points into the next couple of days. Saturday, by the afternoon, your dew points in those mid to upper 70s. So definitely feeling it, definitely going to feel that moisture as you're getting out and about for your Saturday afternoon plans. And then Sunday, it's more of the same, mid to lower 70s, turning into the mid to upper 70s into our afternoon on Sunday. So definitely a sticky few days into our weekend. In terms of feels like temperatures, again, by Saturday, 3 p.m., this is where we see our heat indexes getting those triple digits. Saginaw at 100, Midland 100, Mount Pleasant at 100, Flint at 99, most likely gets to 100. So definitely going to be feeling it Sunday, more of the same, actually getting more widespread 100s. We'll go back here just a little bit, right around 3 to 5 p.m., widespread triple digits for your heat indexes / feels like temperature. So definitely need to be on the precautionary side as we get through your Saturday and Sunday. Now, when we look at our heat risk, this is actually sort of a new product that the National Weather Service released about a year or two ago, sort of giving you a little bit of warning what you could see, and what they have for their heat indexes, major impact for our heat risk for Sunday into Monday over the whole state. And there are a few isolated areas, especially towards Shiawassee County, into Owasso, south to Perry, sort of that Bennington Township area, where you do have maybe some extreme outlook for the heat risk. So again, this is why we have those first alert days issued for Saturday, Sunday into Monday for those warmer days. I think there is some relief, though, when it comes to winds. We do see winds increase through the night. It's going to be a warm wind. It's from the south, so it's helping pull in warmer air, helping pull in that moisture, but it is a strong wind. Actually, by the afternoon, 5 to 6 p.m., we could be looking at wind gusts at 30 to 40 miles per hour. So it will be a little bit breezy. That could help give you some relief. But again, it's sort of a warmer wind because it is from the south-southwest through our Saturday afternoon. And then by Sunday, winds will start to calm down just a little bit more. Still breezy, but a south or a west wind at right around 20 to 25 miles per hour for our Sunday. So calmer than we have on Saturday, but still noticeable as you get through your weekend. Now, going to take another quick break here. After we come back from this break, just going to be taking a look at our rain chances for Saturday morning, and then a look into our future for the next 7 days. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here, live once again at the First Alert Digital Desk. Thank you for everyone for joining me here on this Friday. Starting off quickly here on our hour by hour, what we see is you will have some scattered showers trying to develop through the Bay Area east as we get through 5, 6 p.m. Again, I don't think it's going to be anything that ruins your day, but it's going to be enough to notice that rainfall as you're getting out and about here on this Friday. Now, as we get into Saturday, we can see through the night we're pretty dry. This is 5 a.m. We actually don't see much in terms of rain, but if you look up to the north there, just barely seeing it, that's that rain chance. There have been some question marks with this rain of how far north or how far south it could get. Right now, this model is showing it pretty far north as we get through about 9 a.m. tomorrow. So it actually misses our area. We wouldn't really have to worry about any of those thunderstorms being strong, at least in our area. Now, if you're traveling north for the weekend, you may have to. But I'm going to show some other models here. Again, this is just one of the many models that we use here at the TV5 First Alert Weather Team. We look at what we call HRRR. This is starting at 5 a.m. We can see it's a totally different picture of rain. This is a line all the way through pretty much the UP through really the Detroit area. Now, I think this is probably a little bit over aggressive right now, and that can happen, but I do expect to see the chance of some showers and thunderstorms starting as early as 5 a.m. and moving to the east through 8 a.m. And I think this is where we could see those stronger storms. I think the threats will remain strong winds, maybe some hail. Tornado chance does look to be small, but it is a sort of above zero chance. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll keep you up to date if anything does change, especially, again, if you're heading up north. I think those will be the areas north of our area that will have the best chance. We can see by midday that chance moves out and we'll actually have a calm Saturday afternoon. Maybe a few isolated thunderstorms could be possible just with the energy. I'll show you a third model that's a totally different picture. So this is sort of what we're fighting right now here when it comes to forecasting, is every model has a little bit of a different outlook for Saturday morning. I think it is a possibility that we will see some showers and we will see some thunderstorms. I think the stronger stuff is the question where that sort of strongest area of thunderstorms will develop, if it will be north, if it will be south, and then again, the most consistent rain actually may miss us to the north. So still a lot of question marks. I think that timing-wise is a pretty similar across models. We're really looking 5 to 6 a.m. all the way till about midday, seeing that rain chance. And then through your afternoon Saturday should be dry and again, hot but nice day. So we'll hold on to that. And the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, has been also seeing that chance of severe weather. They have actually given us a slight risk for our northern counties into the northern portion of Michigan through Saturday morning. Now again, this will change. They've already updated it once. They've sort of stretched it out a little bit to the west. So we'll see how things adapt with this outlook through the rest of the day, and obviously we'll keep you up to date with that. But for now, they have sort of spotted that chance of severe weather into tomorrow morning. I think it is a small chance, but it is there. We'll keep you updated. Now, just a quick preview of your weekend, just sort of looking at a deeper dive for the weekend. Saturday, you had those rain chances up till about midday, get to the 90s by about probably 2 to 3 p.m. and stay in the 90s up through about 8 p.m. The one thing is just a southwest wind, 10 to 20. Gust up to 30 miles per hour. Sunday, this is your dry day. Lots of sunshine, temperatures in the lower 90s by about midday, about noon there, and we'll continue to see 90s through about 8 p.m. Winds could stay breezy at times. I think it could be a little bit calmer than that southwest wind at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So if it is a little bit calmer, that's always a good thing for people that don't like the wind, but also if you have to be outside, that wind could help you cool down just a little bit. 7-day forecast does show 90s again for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We'll be back into the 80s starting on Tuesday, but there still is some energy in the atmosphere, and there looks to be more moisture as well, so that could keep us with those upper 80s to the mid 80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then keep us with isolated showers and thunderstorms through the midweek next week. Still looks to be on the smaller chance, but could start to improve as we get closer to next week. We'll obviously, again, keep you up to date with that chance and hopefully avoid any severe weather chances, but obviously when you get warmer weather, especially Tuesday, you could have that possibility of some stronger storms and obviously getting some winds and some hail. But right before we end, we'll take a look at Facebook chat. Doesn't look like we have much. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Again, if you're joining us very late here in the stream, we do have first alert weather days issued for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That's for temperatures near and above 90 degrees with heat indexes at 95 to 100 plus. So make sure you're taking precautions needed to avoid heat illness. Make sure you're checking on your neighbors. Make sure you're checking on your pets, and enjoy the weekend though. I don't think that means friends, don't go outdoors. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy that nice weather, because it will be dry as we get into Saturday afternoon and dry through Sunday. So still nice enough to get out there, but again, just stay safe and again, enjoy the weekend. I hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll end off on our Mackinac Bridge camera once again. And if you're heading up north, obviously stay a little bit weather aware with that. But remember, you can catch us Monday through Friday here at the First Alert Digital Desk at 2 p.m.